The Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. There's something to learn from today's snippets. First one, Bhopal gas tragedy. 40 years on, toxic waste still remains. There's one word here, toxic. Toxic waste. Toxic usually goes with fumes, toxic fumes. Very good morning to all of you. Toxic goes with fumes. Toxic means what? Harmful, hazardous, dangerous. All these words you have to think of. Poisonous also you can say. 40 years on, toxic waste still remains. And there's one important word over here, Merkel in memoir. How do you pronounce this? Memoir. And plural, memoirs. Spelling is one thing, pronunciation is entirely different. You got to be careful. What does it mean? A book that deals with a person's experience with persons, people, or places, or something else. Imagine there is a person, he has experiences, he or she has experiences with a famous personality or a particular place, and he or she writes a book. Then we use the word memoir, an important word because pronunciation is entirely different. Was troubled about attacks on minorities in India. First one actually talks about what exactly happened 40 years ago, Bhopal gas tragedy. Many people got killed. Many of you may not know that. Buffering, wait for a few seconds. It doesn't take a lot of time. A few seconds, it is going to be normal. And coming to this one, it is about someone's memoir regarding attacks on minorities in India. Was troubled. I was troubled by something. 1984, December 2nd, warrior, very good. I appreciate that. And a lot of people had to lose lives. They lost lives because of toxic fumes. And coming to this, something troubled me. Past tense active voice, I was troubled by something. Past tense passive voice, that you have to recollect. Perhaps the person was disturbed or troubled about attacks on minorities in India. Coming to the next one, festival rush missing. Festival rush. The word rush, I'm sure you all know. Rush time, rush period means what? Everyone is in a hurry to reach the office or get back home. Then we use the expression rush hour. That you have to recollect. There is one combination you guys have to know. That is, what is it? A rush hour. A rush means in a hurry. You try to do things in a hurry. A lot of people are on the move, trying to reach office or getting back home. We use a rush hour. Important. I think there's a movie also, English movie from Hollywood. Yet net GST revenues up 11.1% in November. Yet is used. It can be an adverb. It can be a conjunction. Conjunction or adverb, it talks about contrast. Here we have India AI mission. I have been telling students, artificial intelligence, another 20 years, it is going to be in the limelight. Minimum 20 years, 2 decades. It is going to change the way we function. And related to that, what India's AI Safety Institute could do. From this, you should understand there is one institute, Artificial Intelligence Institute. You have to know something about that. You may get as a passage. That way it is important. Could do. What can it do? Usually we say, could do talks about a possibility, but the chances are less. It must tap into parallel international initiatives. There is one model must, one phrasal verb tap into. Must we have got so many times. I'm sure our students know. Must, haste makes waste, that's right. Must is used to express a personal obligation. In this context, obligation imposed by the writer. It also means we used to convey the idea that something is compulsory. And coming to tap into means to explore, to harness, to use. tap into the resources. Means what? To use the resources. Here, tap into parallel international initiatives. We have an institute here that deals with AI. It has to look into what is going on around the world. It has to tap into the parallel initiatives around the world. That will be useful. Ding and Gukesh in third successive draw. Sequence continues. All simple words. What is the main headline, the front page of the Hindu? Mahayuti talks continue. Shinde to back BJP's choice for CM post. There is one word here. Back some candidate. Means what? Support some candidate. Here the sentence says, right now you all know there is a tussle. What is a tussle between regarding the chief minister post of the state of Maharashtra? They have come to power, the coalition government, but they haven't decided the CM yet. The talks have been going on. Based on that, the talks continue. And also the main hurdle or apple of discord, who should be the CM? And Shinde faction, obviously they want Shinde to be the CM, but BJP wants its candidate to be the CM. And based on that, here, after initial talks, negotiations, a statement from the former CM of Maharashtra, Shinde, what he says, he is going to support or is going to back the BJP candidate. So here, back means support. BJP's choice for CM post. Trump threatens 100% tariffs on BRICS if dollar is undermined. There are two important words over here. One is the tariffs, the other one undermined. You can also focus on the word threaten. Tell me what is the other word threaten? Threat. You can say apple of discord, you can say bone of contention. And threat, you have to think of two words. One is endanger. Endangered species means what? Threatened species. You should also think of jeopardize, another important word. Threatens 100% tariffs. Tariff means the taxes, other things that go with financial dealings. And when you go to a particular hill station or some place, you go to a hotel and you try to take a room for 1 or 2 days, then you ask how much is a room tariff. How much is a room tariff? They may say 1,000 per day or 2,000 per day. That you have to know. Undermine, an important word we have got many a time in different competitive exams. Undermine means to weaken. Undermine something, weaken something. That is a word you have to recollect. But no one has responded. Undermine means what? Weaken. Make something weak. America first, that is the slogan. A supporter wearing a mask of Donald Trump holds an American flag near Trump's someplace estate on Friday. What do we have here this side? The snippets. Karge hits out at PM over efforts to divide people. Hit out means criticize, attack, criticizing, that sort of an attack, not a physical attack. Physical attack, usually we use the word assault. Assault means what? Attacking physically. But assault can also mean attacking verbally. Rarely we use in that context or with that connotation. Over efforts to divide people. We have another snippet over here. Puducherry, North Tamil Nadu hit by cyclone Fengal. Easy to understand. CAQM is yet to submit data on burnt area to Supreme Court. Here, yet to submit. Yet to submit, answer my question, is it active voice or passive voice? Yet to come, yet to finish. Yet to come, yet to finish, yet to submit, active voice. Active voice, very good, Nagesh. First one to respond. And yet to be completed, yet to be submitted, passive voice. That pattern is important from the exam point of view. Burnt area, we don't know what exactly the context is about. In Punjab, stubble burning, okay, it talks about stubble burning, how much area has been burnt, stubble burning, keeping stubble burning in mind, this has been given, statement, what is it? CAQM is yet to submit data on burnt area to Supreme Court. Data we have got many a time, datum singular, data plural. As plural of datum, it takes a plural verb, but when it is used as a collective noun, the same word data takes a singular verb. That you have to recollect. We have a nice pic over here. For South Indians, this looks very appealing because we don't experience snow in this part of the country, and in the north they experience snow during the winter, and obviously it looks quite beautiful for South Indians. Cutting a path. What does it say? The Border Roads Organization clearing snow at the Zojila Pass in the Kargil district of Jammu and Kashmir on Sunday. So it talks about clearing the way, the path, clearing the path, you can take it that way. And usually what happens, I tell students, when you read the newspaper or someone comes and explains a mock paper, mock test paper, what you see is only like the tip of an iceberg. What is the meaning of the idiom tip of an iceberg? What you know is a little, what you see is a little. There's so much to learn. In the exam, proficiency in English point of view, what matters is the depth. Here, perhaps a casual learner may look at the snow, wow, beautiful, may feel that way, and may go to the cutting a path, easy to understand. This news line also easy to comprehend. But a smart learner will think of the words that go with this particular context. What is the context to snow? Imagine you're exposed to snow for a long time. Then your fingers, your toes become, you don't feel the sensation. You have to, a smart learner will recollect the word. What is the word if there's no sensation? We use the word numb. The letter B is silent. And if the person after, let's say his fingers, toes became numb, gets exposed to snow for a long time, beyond that, then he or she will be attacked by a particular thing that is known as frostbite. Have you heard of this any time? Frostbite, F-R-O-S-T, frostbite. And after getting hit by frostbite, then he or she has to see a doctor. Once he or she experiences that thing, frostbite, and usually mountaineers, they experience frostbite. If they neglect, that results in what we call gangrene. Gangrene means the bacteria, the virus, it enters the body and eats the body muscles, and you may lose your thumb, the toes, or your fingers. Usually mountaineers have this problem. And if they neglect further, then they have to go to a doctor, and the doctors may remove that part of the body. That is known as amputation. Amputation. Amputate means to remove. All these words are very important. They've given many a time in different competitive exams. So I'm touching. So remove a body part, leg or arm, through operation by doctors, that is known as amputation. And also, when you expose yourself to a storm, snowstorm, there is one important word that is called blizzard. And you all must have seen the movie Bahubali, and one or two, I'm not quite sure. And you should also know the word glacier. See how many words I have come up with. What is the meaning of blizzard? Blizzard means snowstorm. Cyclonic storm, from the Bay of Bengal, usually depression, we say storm. But snowstorm, we use the word blizzard. And also, if you take glaciers, what are glaciers? Thin sheets of snow or ice, they keep moving very slowly, not visible to the naked eye. But when they come across a slope, they fall down with a lot of force. That is known as avalanche. All these words you have to recollect. Then the depth is there, at least from the exam point of view. Let us go to the next one. Plastic treaty negotiations fail with countries split over production cuts. Plastic treaty negotiations fail. Why do they fail? With countries split over production cuts. Means some countries a particular stand, other countries some other stand. Bangladesh upheaval hasn't led to a spike in border interceptions. There are three important words over here. One is upheaval. What does it mean? A lot of people revolt. Then we use the word upheaval. Upheaval goes with two different contexts, entirely different contexts. One is people, revolution, a revolt. We use the word upheaval. something happening on a large scale. Mutiny goes more with soldiers, but people we use the word revolution, rebellion, or upheaval. Mutiny goes with soldiers. And we have 1857 considered the first war of independence, Indian independence, the Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy means soldiers. Soldiers we use army mutiny. But people we use other words. Upheaval also means, imagine because of a natural disaster, there's a lot of devastating impact. Then we say upheaval. We use that also in a different context altogether. And spike we have got many a time. Spike can be a verb, spike can be a noun. As a noun, pointed thing. If you take football players, they do wear sneakers and the shoes of football players very sharp. Those are known as spikes. They need the grip, so they wear those shoes. And that is one meaning as a noun. Other meaning, yes, Shivraj. Surge, we have got many a time. Spike means what? Surge, sudden increase in something. Spike in what? Border interceptions. Interception means, imagine someone is conversing and across the countries, some messages may be disturbing, may be anti-government, and there's a particular body that listens to and tries to intercept, means they find out what exactly is going on. And if the conversation is not legally acceptable, they try to intercept and they try to take action. Ascend is different. Ascend means to go up. That is a different word altogether. What time is it? It is, I think, okay, let me go to the editorial, an important editorial. There is something for you guys to learn. As usual, we start with a question. Exactly. Sharpness for grip. Exactly. What is the enrichment? When you spend about 30 or 40 minutes on this, what exactly you're going to get? You improve your reading comprehension skill, your contextual awareness, your vocabulary, effective vocabulary. All the three are very important. They are the deciding factors to clear mains. And along with these, besides these, you're going to consolidate your grammar knowledge. You're going to get here and there glimpses of effective English, sentence patterns, and you're going to consolidate whatever you learned last week based on mock questions, based on exam topics, mini mocks. Let us start with the vocabulary from today's editorial. What is the first one? Though we have got many a time. Some students may wonder, we have got this we have got this many a time, not once, twice, thrice, many a time. So what is the reason to bring? What happens here, there is a heterogeneous group in the sense, whoever watching, we have beginners, we have those who are intermediate language learners, advanced language learners. That is one thing. Second, we may have the regular students, we may have new students. A new student will definitely wonder what exactly it means. Keeping that in mind, I had to bring because it's an important word. Cease means to stop, to bring to an end. Cease fire, part of speech, noun. Meaning, cease can be a verb, can be a noun, but cease fire, a noun. A temporary suspension of fighting, typically agreed upon by opposing sides in a war. Imagine war is going on. For the time being, for temporarily they decide to stop the war, have talks, negotiations. That particular time is called ceasefire. Look at the example. The ceasefire between the two nations brought temporary relief to the war-torn region. And there's one word over here, tear, tore, torn. And you have to recollect, you got to listen very carefully. As a verb, tear something, tear something, tear the paper. And what is the past form? Tear, tore, torn. Here torn means completely disturbed or devastated. And we have another word. Here it is a verb. Tear the paper. And tear, here it is a noun. Shed tears, you know tears. It's a noun. But here we have another word, T-I-E-R. A lot of people, those who teach SSC also, educators, they tend to say TIER, Tier 1, Tier 2. It is actually Tier 1, Tier 2. How do you pronounce that? Tier 1, Tier 2, not Tier. That you have to know. And war torn means disturbed by war, region, devastated by war. Synonyms, truce an important word, armistice an important word, suspension of hostilities. Suspension is simple word. Exactly, tier 1, not tier 1, tier 2. Tier 1, tier 2. Don't think my English is wrong. I would like to, a word of caution. Here, hostile, important. Why is it important? The moment you see the word hostile, you have to think of enmity. Careful with spelling. Though we say enmity, here no E, E-N-M-I-T-Y, enmity. And also you have to think of the word antagonistic. What is it? Antagonistic, hostile, enmity, antagonistic, unfriendly, or not opposing. All these words are important words. Belligerent has a different meaning. What does it mean? Ready to attack. Belligerent has a different meaning. Belligerent means ready to attack. You're welcome. Let us go to other word. Here we have the synonyms. Important words are there. You should have those words at your fingertips. Conflict, war, hostilities. Simple words. Now simple words. For a beginner, they are important words. Pulverize. We got this last week, if you guys remember. The word pulverize has two different meanings. One meaning, it crushing, making something powder, pulverize. But it also means to be immensely confident. Imagine someone is very confident. We say pulverizing confidence. You guys should have that while preparing for competitive exams. What do we say? Pulverizing confidence. His confidence is pulverizing, means what? Crushing, very confident. And what is the opposite of confident or confidence? Confident, we use the word diffident. What is the word? Diffident. That also you have to know an important word. Diffidence, opposite of confidence, and confident, opposite diffident, not confident. Part of speech verb, to reduce to fine particles, to powder something, to completely destroy or defeat something. Here in this context, pulverize a particular region means destroy a particular region. Look at the example. The massive explosions pulverized the old building, leaving only rubble behind. Rubble, an important word. When you see the word rubble, you have to think of debris. The last letter is silent. D-E-B-R-I-S-S is silent, debris. Encroach is entirely different, not relevant in this context. Encroach means occupying someone's property illegally. Imagine public property is there, someone occupies that public property, then we use the word encroachment. That's a different thing altogether. And you enter someone's property without permission, that is known as, you will be called intruder, intrusion. Those are different words altogether. What are the synonyms? Crush, demolish, destroy, annihilate. Annihilate, an important word you have to remember. Antonyms: build, construct, assemble, preserve. Simple words. Stock. Stock can be. Veera, have a look. We got a message here. It is blocking the view. Stock can be, stock usually, adjective. It means a distinct, crystal clear. Part of speech, adjective, meaning severe or bare in appearance or outline. The outline is crystal clear, the difference is crystal clear, then we say stark contrast. Unpleasantly or sharply clear. The stark reality of the situation left everyone in the room speechless. Combinations are very important when you want to speak or write effectively. Stark difference, stark reality, stark contrast. Because English is a combinational language. We have to use the right combinations, only then we will be appreciated and respected. Stark reality of the situation left everyone in the room speechless, means they were in a shock, dismay. Synonyms: harsh, severe, blunt, austere. But austere does not go with this context, in my opinion. Other words you can consider: harsh, severe, blunt. Gentle, soft, subtle, ornate. Ornate goes more with decoration. Subtle, we have got many a time. Subtle differences, I say. Subtle means what? Slight. The letter B is silent. That also you have to know. Leverage, an important word. Tomorrow you become a bank employee. In the meetings you come across this, the word leverage. What does it mean? Part of speech, it can be a noun, it can be a verb. Let us see, as a noun, what does it mean? The power or influence to achieve a result. You have the power or influence to achieve a result. Leverage your position means use your position to achieve something. As a verb, what does it mean? I've given many a time. To use something to its maximum advantage. You try to use whatever resources you have to the maximum extent possible. That means you're trying to leverage your resources. Example: the company used its financial leverage to acquire smaller competitors. Imagine a particular company has financially very strong or stable. It bought out the smaller competitors. It used that financial power to buy the small competitors. And in that context, we say the company used its financial leverage to acquire smaller competitors to buy. Synonyms: influence, advantage, clout, an important word. Clout means power. It goes with individuals. It also goes with companies or governments or members of parliament or members assembly, MLAs. He has his own clout. Means what? His own power. His clout is quite well known. Means his power is well known. Important word. Antonyms: disadvantage, weakness, vulnerability. Though an important word, we have got many a time, shouldn't be a problem to remember. To be in a weak position where someone can exploit you. Displace, part of speech, verb. Remember the word place, displace, to lose your position or your home, to force someone or something to move from its usual or original place. Displacement, usually people we use displaced. Because of the war, a lot of people have got displaced. Because of the natural disaster, a lot of people have got displaced. This is the combination. But imagine a particular animal or a particular plant losing its place of living. Then we don't say displacement, it had to go to some other place. We say loss of habitat. Habitat, an important word. Loss of habitat today, one of the problems because of so many factors like climate change, deforestation, poaching, all these animals and plants have been experiencing loss of habitat. Habitat means what? The place of residence. We also use the word dwelling. But the word dwelling became outdated in Western countries, though it is being used in this part of the world. The war displaced thousands of families from their homes. That's what happens whenever there is a war. Synonyms: uproot, expel, remove, relocate, simple words. Settle, secure, anchor, station. All simple words. Divine. We all know the word divine. Then you may wonder, why has he brought this word? Divine means what? Related to God, sacred, holy, divine. But it has another meaning. I want you guys to learn that meaning. Divine, part of speech, adjective, related to a God. When we come across the word divine, we all think of only one meaning. What is that meaning? Holy, sacred, spiritual. But it has got another meaning. Look at the other one. Extremely good or heavenly. Extremely good. You listen to a piece of music, extremely good. Then what do you say? Divine music. And you see a particular painting, extremely beautiful. Divine painting. That meaning you got to know. Heavenly. The view from the mountain top was nothing short of divine. Means extremely good. The view, a panoramic view. Panoramic means what? 360 degrees. We also use the idiom bird's eye view. When you go to the summit, the peak of a mountain, you have a view. You can see everything from the top of the mountain. That view is called panoramic, bird's eye view, or 360 degrees view. And for that, obviously, it has to be extremely good, divine. Synonyms: heavenly, godly, celestial. Celestial also an important word, but generally it goes more with astronomy. And we also use heavenly bodies. Astronomers, what do? They study heavenly bodies. We also say celestial bodies. We also say cosmic bodies. Have you heard of this word cosmic? Heavenly bodies. Outside the planet Earth, we have asteroids, meteors, meteorites, galaxies, suns, so many are there. All these together, whatever is beyond the planet Earth, heavenly bodies, celestial bodies, and cosmic bodies, cosmic energy, cosmos. There's one particular word you guys have to know. In fact, I don't know how many of you know a person called a great astrophysicist, Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, a great astrophysicist, and once he came up with television series, Cosmos, all about celestial bodies, a big hit around the world. Not now, in the past, perhaps 80s and 90s, very popular. He has written a book also, Cosmos, by Carl Sagan, very important. And what are the antonyms over here? Earthly, mortal, mundane. How do you pronounce this? Not mundane, mundane. Mundane means a regular, everyday affair, not that important. And profane. Profane also an important word. That's all about the words from today's editorial. Let us go to today's editorial. Today, actually, two editorials. One deals with the West Asian problem, and the other deals with, in our country, a problem related to looking at mosques or religious places and filing cases. And that's a bit difficult to comprehend. That is one reason why I haven't brought another. Boring also, you can say. Very good, Rajeshwari. And this one, there's a solution. It talks about a solution. Because West Asian problem, a lot of people, thousands of people already perished, died. Now there's a solution. It is important. What is it about? First step on the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire. Ceasefire anytime is a solution to the problem of war. And what is the main idea? Without further measures, Israel's ceasefire with Hezbollah will not hold. When two countries are fighting, imagine there's a war, they announce a ceasefire. But before they announce ceasefire, they should think of, once we go in for ceasefire, what will be the future, what further actions have to be taken. They should have a clear picture. They should have the roadmap. Without that, simply announcing ceasefire, after some time they may get back to the old position, they may start fighting. It talks about that. They should have certain ideas about future, further actions. Only then they should go in for ceasefire. Without further measures, actions, Israel's ceasefire with Hezbollah will not hold. Means it is not going to work. Yes. Let us go to how it starts, how it goes about. And to provide the background information, you all know 2023, October 7th, I suppose, Israel was attacked. Subsequent to that, Israel has been attacking. Ever since it was attacked, it has been attacking that region, bombarding the region with rockets and bombs. So many people died, especially women and children. And another initial war was with Hamas, but later these people joined. Subsequent means later. Hezbollah also started hitting Israel. And it went on beyond Gaza, and Israel started attacking Lebanon. It became a little spread out. These are backdrop information. Against this backdrop, when Hezbollah decided to start firing rockets into Israel in October 2023, after the Israel-Hamas war broke out, this is what I was talking about. Initially, it was a war between Israel and Hamas. On October 7th, Hamas attacked Israel, unexpected, unprecedented, and Israel was caught unaware. To get caught unaware means you don't expect something, suddenly something happens. Then you say, I was caught unaware. Means I was not expecting, I got into trouble. War broke out. An important phrasal verb I always tell students. What does it mean? Break out. Break out means to start suddenly. And what are the combinations you have to think of? War, diseases, and natural disasters like volcanic eruptions, fire. All these are the clashes, break out. When Hezbollah decided to start firing rockets into Israel in October 2023, after the Israel-Hamas war broke out, in solidarity with the Palestinians. Hezbollah initially did not have any problem with Israel. Hamas and Israel, it was between Hamas and Israel. But why did Hezbollah fire rockets into Israel? They wanted to show the solidarity with the Palestinians. That was the intention behind. To show in solidarity with the Palestinians. The then chief of the Shia militant group, Hassan Nasrallah, said he would cease fire only if Israel ceased fire in Gaza. He was there that time. Now he has been killed. That's a different thing. So that time when he was there, he was the chief. He said, I will stop fire. I will go in for ceasefire if Israel does it first. The sentence says that. Said he would cease fire. Here it has been used as a verb. Only if Israel ceased fire. Used as a verb in Gaza. When Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu decided to send ground troops into Lebanon on October 1st, 2024, Israel's fourth invasion. Israel has been invading. The fourth invasion, Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel Prime Minister, decided to send the troops. What happened that time? What did he say? He said, the main objective was for the over 50,000 residents of northern Israel displaced by Hezbollah rockets to return to their homes. So what was the idea behind, if you look at Hezbollah, the idea behind firing rockets into Israel to show the solidarity with the Palestinians. On the other hand, a recent development, Israel sending troops to Lebanon. What is the reason behind? The Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wanted Israelis, many Israelis lost, they got displaced, they wanted to return, and that was the intention behind. The main objective was not for the over 50,000 residents of northern Israel displaced by Hezbollah rockets to return to their homes. In less than 2 months, Hezbollah and Israel have climbed down from their maximalist positions and agreed to a US and France mediated ceasefire. There is one expression. Initially, the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said something. Hezbollah also said something. But slowly they had to come down. Initial stand maximalist, demanding a lot. Looking at the reality of being more pragmatic, they must have thought that is not going to happen. It is not feasible. Feasible means what? Possible. So they had to come down in the demands or the stands taken by them. Sentence says that maximalist positions and agree to a US and France mediated ceasefire. Initially, they were not willing to go in for a ceasefire, but they had to change the stand based on the realities and taking a more pragmatic approach. And in between, we got who mediated the ceasefire deal, US and France mediated ceasefire. According to the agreement, all Israeli troops would withdraw from Lebanon to the Israeli side of the border, while Hezbollah would redeploy its forces to the north of the Litani River. Any ceasefire, obviously, they have to talk about what exactly going to happen and what one has to do. If you look at Israeli front, they wanted to do something, and if you look at Hezbollah side, expected something. The Lebanese army would be deployed in areas between the Israeli border and the Litani and entrusted with enforcing the ceasefire. A third party between the Israeli border, and here it talks about the Lebanese army, would be deployed. I haven't brought the meaning of the word deploy. We have got many a time. What does it mean? to place in position. The Lebanese army would be deployed in areas between the Israeli border and the Litani River and entrusted with what is their role? Enforcing the ceasefire. They have to enforce the ceasefire, means they should not allow the war to continue. Both sides have claimed victory. Because of this ceasefire, usually what happens, both the sides claim victory, but the reality is something different. Israel says Hezbollah is not the same organization it used to be, while Hezbollah claimed that it had taken a divine victory against the Israelis. Claimed by Israel, claimed by Hezbollah. Reality is what? The reality is that both have suffered setbacks and wanted a break. Reality is something else. What is the reality? Both have suffered setbacks, means some sort of failure. They did not expect that setback. And because of that, they wanted a break. See, they are synonyms actually. The literal meaning of ceasefire, cease means to end. When we say ceasefire, the context is war is going on. When war is on, both the countries, both the parties, the hostile countries, they keep fighting. When they announce ceasefire, they stop for some time. They don't fight. They stop firing, they stop fighting. That is known as ceasefire. But the idea behind, why do they do it? They are fighting. Why should they all of a sudden go in for ceasefire? What is the objective behind? They want peace. What is the other word for peace? Truce. Truce means a peace. Imagine two persons are fighting. Suddenly someone wants a break, or both of them want a break. Suddenly someone says truce. That means what? We need a break. We have to stop. Subtle difference, but not one and the same, mind you. Where did I stop? Hezbollah lost many fighters and top commanders, including Nasrallah, the chief. Hezbollah strongholds in Lebanon, including the border villages and the Dahiya, the southern Shia neighborhood of Beirut, were pulverized, crushed by Israel. Damage on Hezbollah's side. What are Israel's failures? Israel's failures were starker, means more distinct. True, Israel possesses higher air superiority, which it used to weaken Hezbollah's capabilities, but it did not make many territorial advances in southern Lebanon. Though Israel is in a superior position, airstrikes especially, it could not make substantial what? Reaching many territorial advances. It could not do that. That is a setback for Israel. It faced a stiff resistance from Hezbollah and took high casualties. Casualties goes with accidents usually. It also goes with wars. Casualty means deaths, casualties, deaths. Israel took many Israeli soldiers must have died. Worse, Israel's bombings had little impact on Hezbollah's capability to fire rockets. Israel's bombings could not touch Hezbollah's ability to fire rockets. That is a statement. And to prove that statement, to substantiate that statement, the writer provides an example. Worse, bad, worse, worst, that I'm sure all of you know, had little impact, means what? No impact on Hezbollah's ability to fire rockets. How can the writer say that? The writer has to substantiate the statement. To substantiate, there is a sentence over here. On November 24th, Hezbollah fired over 250 rockets into Israel. Some hit high security zones, including, surprisingly, the residence of Mr. Netanyahu. Including the main person's residence, obviously it shows that the capability hasn't been touched. To prove, substantiate means to prove. According to a Channel 13 poll, most Israelis believe that Hezbollah hasn't been defeated. So what is the public opinion? According to the survey, many Israelis believe Hezbollah hasn't been defeated. In a way, that is victory for Hezbollah. So, given their setbacks, it is unsurprising that both sides have given up their original demands and settled for a ceasefire. Why do they go in for ceasefire? At some point, the warring factions, the warring countries feel they are losing the game, they are losing the situation, control over the situation. They badly need a break so that they can again regroup, or they get the forces back and ready to fight again. It's like a temporary break. And this sentence says the same thing. So given their setbacks, it is unsurprising that both sides have given up. Give up means to quit, to stop trying for something, their original demands, and settled for a ceasefire. While it is good news for West Asia, it could be short-lived if further measures are not taken. The main idea is being reiterated. It is good news beyond any doubt, but if they don't think of further measures or further actions, it is not going to hold for a long time, this ceasefire. War may restart. Israel and Hezbollah could rearm and refresh themselves before returning to fighting. This is what I have just said. If Israel's disproportionate war on Gaza continues, if Israel continues war in Gaza region, that on Gaza, obviously they may again start, Hezbollah may again start. That is, there's a possibility. How to stop that? They have to think of further measures, very important. The main idea is being reiterated. It ends on that particular note, very important. Or we still have something here. How many are there? Okay, the last slide. The US, which played a constructive role in the Lebanon ceasefire, should build on the momentum and push for a ceasefire in Gaza. There's another area they have to go in for ceasefire. Which one is that? Reiterate means to make something strong. In Gaza, they should also go in for ceasefire in Gaza. US should play an important role, vital role. It has to encash this momentum, means the present situation. A ceasefire, one region, the warring factions are willing to change the maximalist stance taken. At this moment, if they go in for ceasefire in Gaza, that will be good for that region. US President Joe Biden has less than 2 months in office. Trump is going to take over, which he should use to correct a policy that gave unconditional support for Israel's war on Gaza and use America's leverage over its ally to bring some relief to millions of Palestinians living under constant Israeli bombardment. A lengthy sentence, but easy to understand. We all know Joe Biden has only two months time to leave the office. Donald Trump is going to be the US president sooner or later, period of 2 months. And before his term comes to an end, Joe Biden has to do something. What is that? He has to correct a policy that gave unconditional support for Israel's war on Gaza. Israel's war on Gaza, the US supported unconditionally. Entire world condemned, but the US supported, it supplied the arms also. That editorial opines that's not a good policy, something went wrong. Based on that, Mr. Joe Biden has to correct the US policy on that particular front and use America's leverage over its. I know, Sindhuja, please wait for a few seconds. Everything is going to be all right. Warrior has answered the first one. What triggered the recent Israel-Hezbollah conflict in October 2023? A territorial dispute over southern Lebanon? No. Hezbollah's firing of rockets in solidarity with Palestinians during the Israel-Hamas war? Hold this one. Not correct, not correct. So what is the answer? Hezbollah's firing of rockets into Israel as a mark of solidarity with Palestinians. 1B. Very good. What is the answer for the second one? What was the primary objective of Israel's ground invasion of Lebanon in 2024, as stated by Prime Minister Netanyahu? What was the objective stated by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? To destroy Hezbollah's infrastructure completely, to reclaim disputed territories in Lebanon, to enable displaced northern Israeli residents to return home. Answer is C. Again, it's Warrior, first one to respond. Perfect. I appreciate that. All of you, a few students have responded. According to the ceasefire agreement, what role is assigned to the Lebanese army? Lebanese army, like a third party, it got a role And what is that role? What are they supposed to do? Entrusted with what? Disarming Hezbollah completely, guarding the southern suburbs of Beirut, enforcing the ceasefire in areas between Israeli border and the Litani River, clearly mentioned in the editorial. C is the answer. Why does the editorial suggest that the ceasefire might be short-lived? Editorial opines, if something is not done, this ceasefire is going to be a temporary one. They may start war within no time, sooner or later. What is the reason to feel that way, to take that particular stand? Both sides are likely to focus on rebuilding and rearming. Israel plans to re-enter southern Lebanon soon. Hezbollah is dissatisfied with the terms of the ceasefire. The Lebanese army is too weak to enforce the agreement. Yes, A is the answer. Very good. Both sides are likely to focus on rebuilding and rearming if further measures are not taken. There's a condition. What is a condition? If further measures are not taken, this may happen. That is the apprehension, that is the fear. Please wait for a few seconds. Now it's okay, I guess. Try to answer what is the tone of the editorial. Yes. Venki says 5B. Yes, you got it right. Cautionary. What is a word of caution from the editorial? Based on that, we decide the tone. Ceasefire is good, provided they think of further measures. And based on that, a word of caution, cautionary. Answer is B. Very good. I appreciate all of you. Those who have chosen B as the answer. Let us go to questions based on exam topics. The first question deals with synonyms. Choose the word that is closest in meaning to the given word. What is the word over here? Perturbing. Critical is not correct. Critical means criticizing. It's about ceasefire. Why will the editorial criticize? Any editorial that deals with ceasefire, at the outset, it will appreciate. It is good. It's good for people in that region. At the same time, further actions are required. Based on that, a word of caution. Based on that, the tone becomes cautionary. Perturbed. Whenever it buffers, you guys get perturbed. Means what? You get disturbed. So what is the meaning based on that? Disturbing. It's a negative word. Not satisfying, not encouraging, not predictable. Let us go to the next one. Word usage. Identify the sentence where the word is used correctly. Here we are talking about the word modality. In all the 4 sentences, you see the word modality. Where has it been used properly? The modality of the ONOS plan. The government's modality reflects a structured approach to accessibility. Here you have, this is a bit difficult, challenging. Oh, within no time, Uday, and also Jayalakshmi and Shrestha. B is the answer, very good. I really appreciate. Ranjit also. Here we are talking about the government's modality, not the modality. Plan you cannot say modality. And also argument you cannot say modality. And light you cannot say. Government's modality, the procedure, the way, the method. Answer is B. This is a bit challenging, but students got it within no time. Phrase replacement. This is also challenging. Choose the best option to replace the underlined phrase. The government's decision to allocate 6,000 US dollar rupees crore, 6,000 crore to foreign publishers is a step in the right direction. In my opinion, this is challenging. Let's see how you guys are going to look at it. An uncalculated move. When you say step in the right direction, first you have to tell yourself something positive, but perhaps there is a condition. An uncalculated move, not positive. And premature decision, not positive. Unjustifiable expense, not positive. What is it? What is the answer here? Why C? A premature decision. A step in the right direction. It should be B, not C. A step in the right direction, and they had to do it. Necessary evil, perhaps, because context talks about the government's decision to allocate 6,000 crore to what is the group here? Foreign publishers. Usually we try to allocate money to the domestic publishers, but here foreign publishers. That is something positive, but first choice should be domestic publishers, not foreign publishers. Based on that, a necessary evil. I hope you guys got the context there. One word is enough to decide. Evil, necessary evil means something essential but not a good thing. Why is it not a good thing? You are not supporting domestic publishers, you are supporting foreign publishers. Got it? Go to error location, read this sentence. The editorial argues that the government's willingness to allocate funds to foreign publishers without support domestic journals reflects its disregard for building local research capacities. No one will appreciate. People want domestic publishers to be supported, obviously. Within no time you have answered. It is not nothing wrong with, okay, A is a lengthy part. The editorial argues that the government's willingness to allocate funds to foreign publishers, nothing. There is an error in the second part. What is wrong with the second part? Without support, two would have been better. Or you have to say, without supporting. What is the word form here? Without support to domestic publishers or without supporting domestic publishers. Word form is not correct. We have without supporting domestic journals reflects its disregard. But they had to do it necessary evil. Filler. While the ONOS plan is in its goal, it falls short of addressing systemic issues in scholarly publishing. First, your clue is while. While is used to express a contrast. And then you have to understand the context and choose the exact word. C9, what is it? While the ONOS plan is, you need a positive word here because falls short of addressing means negative. Unnecessary, negative word. Detrimental means dangerous, negative word. Flaw means a mistake, negative word. While the ONOS plan is commendable, what is the meaning of commendable? Appreciable, praiseworthy. Answer is B, obviously. While something is commendable, something else falls short of, means not up to the expected level. Laudable also you can say. Very good. That's the last one. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched and work on important words, important patterns. That will help in the long run. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. 10-4.